Hello, and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 7th grade concept of simple and compound spaces. This is standard 7.6a in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 2, which is a new item type called drag and drop, off the 2023 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we have Jana ordering a 1-topping pizza, and we've got choices for topping and choices for crust. Now, this is a drag and drop. Take a look at what happens here. Let's just say I want to throw that in there. You notice that each answer can be used more than once. So there are 4 different spots. There are 5 different choices, but that doesn't mean that there's only one choice per spot. I can use that stuffed in all 4 spots if I want to. If I try to move out of here with only 3 of the 4, it will give me an error message because it wants me to fill out all 4. So rather than just throwing some of these names here, let's go ahead and build our own sample space. This is a compound event simply because I've got 2 different things happening here. I've got a topping, and then I've got a crust. Okay, so my toppings are going to be sausage and pepperoni. So I'm going to just write topping right here, and I'm just going to put pep and then SAUS for sausage. Okay, now with those 2 choices, right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking at my crust, and you see I've got 3 different crusts. I've got thin crust, I've got thick crust, and stuffed crust. Okay, so I can't use THI because thick and thin both do that, so I'm going to put THN. Okay, so I can have a pepperoni with thin crust. I can also have a pepperoni with thick crust, so THK. I can also have a pepperoni with stuffed crust. Okay, so I'll put STF. Now, that's all the combinations that I can make with my pepperoni because there's 1 topping, pepperoni, and then I can have 3 different crusts, thin, thick, or stuffed. But I could do the exact same thing with my sausage, and I'm going to repeat that same pattern. Okay, so I'm going to have a thin crust, I'm going to have thick crust, and I'm going to have stuffed crust. All right, so that's an organized sample space here. And you'll notice if you wanted to count them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? We could have got that because there's 2 toppings times 3 crusts equals 6 total possibilities. And that's how many I have over here. All right, so now all I need to do is I need to just fill in the blanks. So they organize theirs slightly differently, right? Because look, we've got thin, thin, stuffed, stuffed, blank, thick. So I'm assuming this is going to be my thick. Okay, so they did theirs slightly different, but thin, thin, stuffed, stuffed, thick, thick. And then what they did, so let me go ahead and get that thick in there, is they then organized it by topping after they organized it by crust. All right, so let's open that back up. So thin, thin. Well, what do I have with my thin? Let me get that color right there, that magenta. So I've got a pepperoni in thin, and then I've got a sausage in thin. So I've already got my sausage in thin, so I'm missing my pepperoni in thin. So this is my pepperoni. Let's grab that. So now I've got stuffed, stuffed, right? So they're kind of going down here. So I've got my pepperoni and stuffed, my sausage and stuffed. I've got my pepperoni and stuffed, but I'm missing my sausage and stuffed. Okay, sausage and stuffed. And then finally, I've got pepperoni thick and blank and thick. Well, my pepperoni and thick, right, is going to be there, and then I need my sausage and thick, so I'm missing sausage. So we see a pattern here: pepperoni, sausage, pepperoni, sausage, pepperoni, sausage, and then the crusts are in 2s, and those are my answers.